Third phase moon, Blake Cousins here. Did you just hear about what China just did today? They just teleported the first object from Earth to orbit. And I want to get people's opinions of what this implication means. This technology out there right now, a Chinese team has just announced that they've successfully created the world's first satellite to ground quantum network, which has proved itself to be capable of recording the longest ever distance over which quantum entanglement can be measured. So now we're into this thing that reminds me straight out of Star Trek. We could transport from one place to another. I have Brent Cousins here, and I want to get your guys' opinions from around the world. Is this a reverse engineered technology that's been around all this time? Wow, this was basically established in the 1990s by scientists who fascinating concept of quantum entanglement. Brent, what do you make of all this stuff? Is China ahead of us?
Quantum entanglement is basically considered to be absolutely essential in the development of the next gen technologies, which will allow for long distance teleportation networks. You know, we're talking about things in the future that could change everything within our century. This is basically pretty exciting news.
Apparently, the Chinese discovered that if two photons are placed in contact with one another, they always remain linked and mirrored with another's behavior, even if they were separated by vast amounts of difference.
You're right, Blake. They're using high sensitivity photon receptors referred to as the MICUS, which has been placed in orbit. The photons under examinations are placed within the vacuum to ensure they are not lost and then monitored using ground stations.
You're right, Brent. This allowed the team to monitor the photons at a distance of up to 1,400 kilometers to check whether entanglement was still occurring. Well, the team experimented with millions of photons and found clear evidence of entanglement in 911, basically 911 of the cases. The success of the initial experiments by the Chinese team has laid the foundations for further work in the field in the future. People have said for a long time right here at Third Phase Moon that they've already have this technology out there, that they're doing time jumps from certain areas on planet Earth to Mars to get there within seconds. Brent, do you believe this is old news or new news finally being revealed to the public from the Chinese, basically?
Well, Blake, it's got to start from somewhere. If that technology exists here on Earth right now, well, there needs to be a soft disclosure in that leak of technology. It's going to be essential for our human race to survive and move faster than we could ever imagine. And I think this is an essential step forward to a global scale of a quantum internet.
And a quantum basically travel anywhere you want at any time. Now, this is what the Chinese say. This work establishes the first ground-to-satellite uplink for fateful and ultra-long distance quantum teleportation. This is unlimited travel to anywhere you want. Now, this is what I'm talking about. I have to applaud the Chinese on their technology, and they're talking about it. They've done it. Now, in my opinion, this is old news, but now they're finally going public. Some of these big governments out there are basically leading into disclosure, in my opinion. Brent, any last thoughts here?
Great subject to follow, and I'm thinking, could this teleportation, and I'm wondering, what's faster, the speed of light or teleportation? We're going to need to move a lot faster than the speed of light to get within the means of our galaxy, like our next door neighbors. It takes at least 70 years to maybe 30 years to get to the closest planet at the speed of light. So we're going to need to move much faster, and I hope teleportation in this new technology could be a new doorway.
Edward Snowden making major claims in regards to aliens. He says that the aliens are trying to contact Earth right now. Blake Cousins' third phase moon. Welcome back, everybody, from around the world. The NSA whistleblower was speaking as he continues to live in isolation in Russia, following a major leak of information regarding the way the government agencies monitor and use our personal data. However, he took some time recently, just Friday, and he spoke to scientist Neil deGrasse Tyson, the Star Talk podcast, to make some incredible claims. Listen to this. Snowden states, so if you have an alien civilization trying to listen for other civilizations, or our civilization trying to listen for aliens, there's only one small period in the development of a society when all of their communication will be sent via the most primitive and most unprotected means. So when you think about it, everything that we're hearing through our satellites, or everything they're hearing from our civilization, if there are indeed aliens out there, all their communications are encrypted by default. So what we're hearing that's actually an alien TV show or, a phone call is indistinguishable to us from cosmic microwave background radiation. So basically, according to Snowden, in my opinion, he's basically saying that they have leaking complications as well, and they encrypt their messages so people can't read them, even humans or other civilizations out there, unless there are aliens that want to leak information out like Snowden has been doing over the past few years. What do you think, people? Do you think there's an alien encrypted code that the human technology, the scientists right now, would never be able to recognize an alien message trying to be sent to us? Now, speaking of leaks, listen to this. A naval officer tells us exactly what he saw hidden in Antarctica. A naval officer tells us what he remembers, including seeing a huge opening in the ice in a no-fly area they were crossing with medical emergency on board. Then he ferried up a group of scientists who had disappeared for 2 weeks and has specifically been warned not to refer again to this subject. As he put it, they look scared. Antarctica has been long considered one of the most mysterious places on Earth. Therefore, it's not strange that numerous conspiracy theories accounts have been proposed throughout the years trying to explain some of the many enigmatic occurrences on Earth's most isolated continent. For years, people have claimed that Antarctica is one of the most guarded places on Earth for a good reason. Many authors have proposed that there are many intelligent, interesting things hidden beneath the Antarctica that are kept away from society. Talk about ancient civilization inhabiting Antarctica has existed for decades. What if, in the distant past, when Earth and Antarctica were much different than today, an ancient civilization developed there, creating fascinating structures and monuments and temples? Would we find evidence of their existence today? Well, many people claim we already have, and I agree. But why has Antarctica become a center of conspiracy theories as of late? Perhaps one of the greatest reasons is because it's so isolated, and you can't just travel there if you wish. Furthermore, even though we know about Antarctica only for a little over 100 years, there are numerous ancient maps that depict past of Antarctica free of ice. One of the most controversial maps, without a doubt, composed in 1513 by Turkish Admiral Piri Reis, who drew a map that would create a global debate over 500 years after him. The map depicts Antarctica, which was discovered between 1818 and 1820. But how is this possible? The history of Antarctica emerges from early Western theories of a vast continent known as Terra Australis, believed to exist in the far south of the globe. The term Antarctic referring to the opposite of the Arctic Circle. Now take a look at this. In 2012, a satellite image of Antarctica spotted a strange oval-shaped formation in one of the most remote places on the planet. Wow, thousands of miles away from modern society, this strange oval-shaped structure raised numerous questions among experts. At 400 feet across, experts analyzed the image that it could be a structure, a result of Mother Nature. They say the unusual shape of the structure suggests it may be man-made. Now, the image is just one of many odd things that have been found in the Antarctic, and many authors and whistleblowers claim that there's more to Antarctica than we've ever been told.